It's a little desolate.
Travelling with my good friend Jeremy James, we are in the Hwange National Park in Zimbabwe, on our way from main camp to Cinemattella. It's day 23 of an expedition to find close encounters with African animals. It's a 3-hour drive, but we're going to spend the whole day getting there, watching for game as we go.
An elephant, and that's an African buffalo. This is the Shumba picnic spot and hide. And we're going to have a bit of lunch here. Hwange has a lot of these areas that you can step out and, there are a lot of these hides. They're wonderful. The water holes are powered by borehole pumps. They're electrically powered by photovoltaic cells, keeping these water holes alive.
Huh. That's not a rock in the middle, that's a hippo.
We have had a brilliant morning game viewing. Not that we've seen that many animals, we have seen some animals. And, we're at another one of these watering holes with another platform. There's nobody around. This is Masuma Dam. We are sitting at a hide. Let's have a look at you. There you go. Bastard. So that's a pretty special scene. Get so close. They're drinking from the trough because the water from the trough has been pumped straight out of the ground by the solar voltaic cell powered pump. So it's pure clean water. They don't have to drink it out of the pond. And that's why they come here.
Masuma Dam is something really special. We must come back tomorrow, but for now we must make Cinemattella before the gates close, so unfortunately we can't experience the sunset here.
We have arrived. This is one of my favourite campsites in all of southern Africa, and I thought, being in Zimbabwe, I would bring Jeremy to it. It's called Cinemattella, and it's in the northeastern section of the Hwange National Park. We've checked in, now we have to go and find ourselves a campsite, and I'm going to show you why it's so special.
I first visited Hwange and Cinemattella when I was 7, and I've always remembered Cinemattella for its amazing backdrop.
Oh, that looks like good wood.
Yeah.
The engine has hardly been shut down when our free firewood arrives.
Oh. Which side do I want to go? I think I want to go that side.
And more planning for our night photography.
Beautiful fire. Very nice, thank you very much. Animal sightings today. We saw a lot of animals today, but one stands out on my list of animals that I wanted to see on this trip. At the very, very top, we saw it today. A brief glimpse passed in front of the car as we were driving along about an hour ago, and that's the painted dog. And this is Jeremy's picture through the windscreen. He had about 4.5 seconds, not even that, notice to actually get the camera up, point it, and fire. It was close, but we saw them. There was a pack. We probably saw 4 animals, maybe 5, running across the road. Painted dog is it used to be called the African wild dog. They've changed its name to painted dog. It's an endangered species. They are amazing animals. Just really, to get a good look at a painted dog is really something special. We did see them. That's amazing. And the best part of today is the fact that no rush. We just had the whole day to drive 120-ish kilometers through the game reserve, stopping every 30 minutes. We would stop and at a water hole, look for animals. When we saw something, we would stop. It was just brilliant, absolutely brilliant. And what a place to stop. Tonight we're going to try some astral photography with these beautiful trees, such beautiful silhouettes against the sky. We've got a high moon which will either help us with our photography or not. We'll wait and see. Well, I'm in my tent at Cinemattella. Just getting into bed, and I was thinking to myself, well, we haven't really had any close encounters with wild animals, maybe not as close as I was hoping. And then I realised we've had some amazing encounters. It's been fantastic. But Jeremy hasn't heard lion. And within 20 seconds of thinking that, the lions started. Yeah, they're a long way away, but they're there. You can hear them. It's unmistakable. And it's one of the magic parts about spending time and camping in the African bush, are the night sounds, particularly lion, and particularly hyena. The whooping of the hyena, this eerie call. Of course, the jackal also has a fantastic call. Many of you may ask, particularly, I get a lot of questions, particularly from people in the United States. Don't you carry a gun? Do you carry a gun? Do you carry a gun? No, I don't. Do not carry a gun. A couple of reasons. Firstly, it's not permitted. I couldn't cross the border with a gun unless I had a hunting permit and a hunting guide. Very strictly controlled. Very strictly controlled because of poachers. And if I carried a weapon illegally, and I was found in this part of the world with an illegal firearm, I would be tried for poaching. I could spend a long time in jail. But this might sound prosaic, but instead of carrying a gun, I carry common sense. A weapon is completely unnecessary. It's just not necessary. Just keeping our wits about us and knowing a little bit about animal signs. If they get aggressive and everything, back off. Don't let them get aggressive, and don't get too close. These are wild animals. You get close to them, they won't like it. Don't camp close to water because of hippos. Don't walk close to water, too close to water, because of crocodiles. We are not animal food. Any animal. Can you hear the lion now? A deep, low frequency rumble. There's a lion. It's one of the best things you can do. Travelling in Africa, just go to sleep in a ground tent, listening to lion. It's really cool. And when the lion get very close, it's my adrenaline sport, because you never get used to it. I'm still sleeping. Sounds like a noisy Birchall starling with another small bird taking dictation. Sounds like a typewriter. I'm officially a wreck this morning. I couldn't have a shower last night because there was no hot water, even though they'd lit in the donkey boiler. The plumbing is just a complete mess there. So anyway, didn't have a good night because there was a mouse or something scurrying around the outside of my tent making a lot of noise. But I woke up this morning to this incredible bird song. It just, unbelievable. Such a beautiful thing to wake up to. And it reminded me, I wasn't very academically good at school. In fact, I was pretty terrible actually. I was voted the kid that would amount to absolutely nothing by I think every teacher and most of the pupils. But I did do two projects. One was just an ad hoc, open-ended project, do what you like, 4 marks. I think it was grade 11. And I did a Birds of Botswana project where I drew a map and I had pictures of different birds, and I think there were 6 or 8 birds in the collection. I'm not quite sure, but it came with a collection of bird sounds on a cassette tape. Now, when I was very, very young, I used to record bird sounds when I went out with my dad on these trips, and the bird sounds, at least 3 of them I've heard this morning from my tent, and the 3, which considering how many there were, could be as many as 50% of the entire bird collection, were arrow-marked babbler, Birchall starling. They are amongst the most noisy of the birds here. I also had on my list African golden oriole. That was actually, well, the Birchall starling was mimicking the African golden oriole.
Where we find a Birchall starling imitating an African golden oriole. During my various bird recording trips into Botswana, I did record a few birds that I still have not identified. This one I believe to be some kind of shrike.
See that guy? He's a black-eyed bulbul. He was another bird in my bird collection. And, can you hear that? I think, not 100% sure, another one was the yellow-billed hornbill. That noise there? Yellow-billed hornbill. I thought that would be too much of a coincidence. It sounded like a golden oriole.
Meanwhile, on the plains far below, something is stirring.
You join us now live on the hills overlooking the Cinemattella Valley as we watch a group of buffalo being hunted by a lion. No, really, that's what's happening. It's been explained to us that there is actually a hunt in progress. They take a long, long time. When the lions are roaring, lions that are roaring aren't hunting. Lions that are absolutely silent might be. So the lions roar, and it creates a calmness in the herd of buffalo. But then the lions always work in a team. There are probably other lions on the other side flanking the buffalo. And what the lions will try and do is scatter them. In a herd like this, lions will not attack. It's just too dangerous for them. But once they are scattered, then they can pick off the slowest. Now this could take a day, 2 days, but something is going down. So my take on the situation, for what it's worth, in that enclosed herd, the buffalo are fairly safe actually. But what often happens with a herd like this, a buffalo, is that you get the very, very old males that are kicked out of the herd, and they're stragglers, and they often get separated from the herd when the herd is moving. And those stragglers are often, well, they are the most vulnerable of the herd, and they're often taken by lion. And as somebody who travelled through the bush quite a lot, those stragglers, those buffalo are extremely dangerous to hikers, because in a herd, buffalo are like cattle, they all stick together. When separated, they are extremely grumpy and extremely dangerous and unpredictable. What's going to happen? Is there going to be a hunt this morning? Hey, I don't know. Maybe. I don't know. Even if there isn't, it's pretty fantastic to watch from up here. Oh, what an amazing sight that is. What a treat. And coming back to Hwange, I thought, well, main camp, animals are better at main camp. Wrong on every imaginable count. The animals are better at Cinemattella. So it depends what time of year you come, it depends on individual experience, it's just you never know. You never know. Fantastic. Where you get a better view of it. They're running. Why would they be running? So they're out of sight now. I'm sorry I can't show you this. I'm just looking through the binoculars and I've just got trees in the foreground. I can see very, very little. They stampeded for some reason. But I don't see lion. I actually also see some bulls. Oh, they're there. They are. Yeah, they've gone back down to their normal slow pace. So whatever freaked them out is no longer a problem. They've slowed down, they've started grazing. They started grazing again. And this happens every day. But to be in the right place and the right time to witness it is the trick. Okay, exciting things happening. This was just fantastic, just brilliant. Now, Masuma Dam, we went there yesterday and photographed the elephants. There might be an opportunity for us to camp there. That means that we can actually be right next to that border hole right through the night, right early morning. And they were telling us how Edward, the chap that looks after the place right now, was telling us that the animals, they come through there. There are tourists that come through there too, but they leave before 6. We would be allowed to stay. So we're going to find out now if there is a space available. We might get lucky. And here he comes with the news. Let's hope it's good. What did they say?
All the chicken sites are booked today.
All booked?
All booked.
Oh dear, that's a real pity.
That's not great news. Up to this moment, I didn't know it was possible to camp and overnight at any of these spots.
That's a pity.
Doing so means that you're close to the animals right through the night. Maybe we should go there and chat to the warden.
Bird life here is absolutely fantastic. We've never had on the entire trip so much bird life around us.
I'm not quite ready to give up yet. So we've driven back to Masuma Dam.
Good, man.
Okay, thanks a
We have
lot.
it delivered for you.
Yeah, thanks a lot. Thanks a lot.
Yeah, from the camp.
Okay. So where are you up to today?
Sit rep. We came back to Masuma Dam to see if Edward, the caretaker here, had any ideas, ways that we could actually stay here and camp here, even though they have a booking. And it seems he does. We were hoping, and we asked at the office,
Okay.
to spend tonight here,
Okay.
but they said you've already got a booking.
Okay.
But you mentioned yesterday that maybe we could share with somebody else.
Yeah.
What are the chances of? Because we would love to be here tonight.
Okay. So what about if there's someone come down here and don't want to share? Do you have another option to go somewhere, Mandavu or?
We can go
Cinemattella?
back to Cinemattella.
To Cinemattella.
Yeah.
That's cool. So let's just wait for those people.
See
When they
what
come
they
down,
say.
then I can talk with them.
Okay.
Yeah, I think it's possible. It's depending with the people.
Yeah, yeah.
But especially South Africans, some of them they don't want to share.
Yeah.
Yeah, but if there's some other people from different countries, maybe they can share with us. Yeah, it's possible.
Okay.
I can do something about it.
Okay,
Thanks, man.
let's try. So we've packed up everything, returned, cameras at the ready, and we will know within the next 2 hours if we're staying here and we can actually spend the night here, or will we have to rush back and camp again at Cinemattella.
Thing I can do for you.
Yes, sir.
If you want to drive back, you can just drive back maybe later to go and grab your tent.
Yes.
But don't do the payment
Okay.
now
Yes.
because you don't know about the picnic
I
site.
understand.
Because maybe you can pay for the picnic site, but there's someone's coming down.
I understand.
You are going to get a loss. So the thing is, you can pay tomorrow morning.
Go out, pay.
Yeah.
Stay with us, folks, for the next instalment. This is the Animals in Africa show brought to you by Filth Muck, the detergent with the lead bubbles. Rump.
And there's a town actually called Boron that mines this stuff. Well, it was put into a cleanser, laundry cleanser, hand cleanser called borax in the U.S. And on the old boxes, it used to say 20 meal team borax. Keeping your
As you can see, while waiting for animals, it's not all interesting.
20 meal team, that was the power of borax.
We didn't have long to wait before the first of the elephants arrived. And a family of female kudu. Some of who seem to have an unhealthy interest in a crocodile. More and more animals arrive. And as they arrive, the more I worry about the idea of not spending the night here.
Okay, exciting things happening. Now, Masuma Dam, we went there yesterday and photographed the elephants. There might be an opportunity for us to camp there. That means that we can actually be right next to that border hole right through the night. Gonna find out now if there is a space available.
It's day 24 of an expedition in search of close encounters with Africa's wild animals. And we're hoping today to do something really special.
We might get lucky. What did they say?
All the picnic sites are booked today.
All booked.
All booked.
Oh dear, that's a real pity.
We are trying to arrange to camp, not at the official campsite, but at one of the day spots, hides located next to waterholes, and the one we've chosen is called Masuma Dam. Up to this moment, I didn't know it was possible to camp and overnight at any of these spots. Doing so means that you're close to the animals right through the night. And we've been told that they're all booked up. But I'm not ready to give up yet.
Oh, we had wanted to spend another day again.
Yeah, stay another night in the park. We came back to Masuma Dam to see if Edward, the caretaker here, had any ideas, ways that we could actually stay here and camp here, even though they have a booking. And it seems he does.
Yeah, but if there's some other people from different countries, maybe they can share with us. Yeah, it's possible.
So we've packed up everything, returned, cameras at the ready. Light is just starting to get, just beginning to get nice. Up to now it's been hard and it's starting to soften now. It's 4:30.
The very next moment, Edward arrives.
Can we stay?
Yes, we can stay. But the thing is, I don't know maybe those people that are coming or not.
Okay.
But for now, you can stay.
Yes.
The thing is, I have already made some hot shower.
Yes.
So if you want to have a shower, you can do your shower.
Okay.
Then late, I'm going to give you some firewood. If you want some firewood
Thank
to
you.
make some outside fire.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay.
Definitely, you're going to stay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Excellent. Thank you very much.
Thanks, man.
Thank you. To be fair, this kind of experience is not just exclusive to the self-driver. I'm talking. You have no idea how often that happens. As I was saying, but the difference is that if you were at a lodge, there would be several other people with you all of the time. And to get an opportunity, we've had the afternoon, virtually the entire afternoon, with nobody else here. Now at this moment, Edward said that there's a good chance that there's still people coming, but that we can stay. So wouldn't it be great if they didn't arrive?
Now that we know we're going to be staying, time to think about how we are going to photograph the scene.
There is no artificial lighting on this pool. Often, if a pool is close to a lodge, they'll have artificial lighting so you can see the game. It's very often orange, it doesn't disturb the animals, or red, but nothing here. So we have a very bright moon, and we're hopefully equipped with the kind of equipment that will be able to do something in moonlight. Stills, if not video. But it's very exciting, never done it before, shooting animals in moonlight. That's what we're going to try and do later on. and we have 2 elephants frolicking. Anybody else want to say anything? Is this the best you could do?
Yeah, well, I tried to negotiate a better spot. That's all I could get.
All you could get?
Yeah.
I mean, you couldn't do better?
No, I was hoping to get a little closer to the water.
This is officially the very, very best campsite I've ever had in my life. So this series was about close encounters of with animals and things. I think we've officially succeeded.
I think we have as well. Yeah. Masuma Dam will go down in memories for quite some time.
I might as well stop doing this adventure travel thing now. It's been done. I can't top this.
And just then, some people arrived.
So close. So close. Come forward.
Yeah.
So the people that have arrived were not actually booked here. They would have booked at another one of these little private secluded spots. But it turns out there's nobody there. They didn't pitch up or something. So they let them come here. And Edward even came to me and asked my permission. Would it be okay? Of course it's okay. You know, it's a no-brainer. But we almost had the whole place to ourselves. So close.
Day breaks over Masuma Dam, but with very few animals around the waterhole, we'll get back to nitpicking about our camping gear.
You heard of the expression, a watched pot never boils. I'm going to modify it a bit. With this Kodak burner, this is the pot that never boils.
And it's time to sort out my laundry.
Now, towards the end of the trip, one's dirty washing becomes really quite, you know what I mean? It's kind of, and sometimes it fights back when you try and get it into the bag. Masuma Dam has been one of the most rewarding bush photographic experiences of my life. It's been fantastic. I've loved every second of it. So it's with difficulty that I have to turn my back and head off. And as the days count down, pretty close to concluding my Africa expedition for 2018, I'm going to finish with something rather special. Those of you who know the Top Gear show may remember the three going to a place in Botswana called Kubu Island. When interviewed off television, it was kind of an open forum question time with the Top Gear crew. They were asked, what is the most interesting and most beautiful place you've ever been to? And their collective answer was Kubu Island, Botswana. We'll be going there today. Good morning. In the town of Nata, doing our last little stock up before we head south. We're off to the Makadi salt pans. On the main road between Nata and Maun, looking for the turn off. The road to Kubu Island and the Makadi track. Well, there are hundreds of tracks, and there's going to be a lot of guesswork involved in getting there. but I know somewhere along here there is a turn off south, and it'll probably start with a bit of a gravel road. I think this might be it here, and it'll deteriorate into a 2-track, actually a path through the scrub. And from this point it's probably a 2-hour drive. Yeah, this looks like it looks promising, and we'll be on one of my favorite places on the entire planet. We're going to have a great couple of days ahead. I was last in the area in 2013. So this is the first of the problems. This is typical navigation Makati pan style. So my inkling says go left, I think. I've been to this part of the Makati pans probably 30 times, and every single time I go there I go through the same process. There is no direct route to Kubu Island. It doesn't exist. So we just literally have to just find a track that's going vaguely in the right direction and follow it. That's navigation Makati style. But every single time I've been here, I've managed to get where I've wanted to go. So today, same as any other. And what do you think about that?
I think we just pick a track and go. Sounds like fun. We'll end up somewhere.
This is true. We will know that by the time this evening comes, we will be somewhere.
We will be
this
somewhere.
is something we know.
It's because we're professionals.
Because we're professionals. Because we don't look like it, but we are.
Yeah.
Niligwana pale Uganda nilifurahi na tingi we. Niligwana pale Uganda nilifurahi na tingi oh.
Hello, horse.
Are they wild? They are now. Well, quick lunch stop. I live for this kind of travel and this kind of landscape. Absolutely love it. Flat, wide open spaces, big sky country. We've probably got about an hour to go before we reach Kubu Island. And the drive here has been fantastic. Lots of dust, beautiful parklands, just gorgeous. Principles and rules of this kind of travel. Principle is we're going to try and keep the pan on our left. We're going to look for the most well-used track, and we're going to get a nice cold Coke. As for rules, there aren't any. Principle is this: we have Soa Pan. On the bank of Soa Pan, the edge, on the eastern edge, is Kubu Island. We have Ntwetwe Pan. What I've got to do now is follow the track, the most used track, south, keeping Soa on that side of the vehicle and within sight if possible. We should start to see part of Soa Pan within the next 30 or so minutes. So it's a case of now of driving and looking out for it and using that as our landmark to steer around. You know, I've been to Kubu Island 20 times. I'm as excited to see it again now as I was the very first time, which was probably 30 years ago. It's such an amazing place. And I am looking forward to the look on Jeremy's face when he finally sees it.
zote, mchezo wa tingi-tingi. Sasa tufanye nini? Mchezo wa tingi-tingi. Tufanye nini shiro? Tuime yote shiro. Hey, ha, hey, ho, hey, ha, hey, ha, hey, ho. Watch out where.
Hang on. This looks like somebody's backyard. Oh well, every road leads somewhere. Oh well, I think we're getting closer. The road was moving westerly, southwesterly, and now it's starting to swing around a very large pan that is not so a pan, but it's a very, very large pan. It's easy to mistake it. The map indicates that it's another large pan, nameless. But the road now is starting to curve around in a more easterly direction, so we are getting close. There it is, Kubu Island, a national treasure, a place of deep cultural significance to the Tswana people. And to my dismay, there is somebody defiling it.
This is what the people of Kubu Island, who look after the area and administer the area, have to put up with. They have to put up with people driving over the island even though they know better, and they've said to me many, many times that I've come here that they have to deal with this kind of behavior. It just saddens me and angers me. It is so completely unnecessary, and it's one group of people that do it. South Africans. None of the people from different countries would dream of driving up there. They wouldn't even consider it. It's just, So, that's what happens. That's what we've got to put up with. Lots of money and no sense. I find it very frustrating and very saddening. We have to put up with people like that. So, if you want to take notice of the number plate, yeah, see both of them from Gauteng in South Africa. Anyway, we're going to have a look around and decide where we're going to set up our cameras for the night. The trouble is, the choice is really a big challenge because there are so many absolutely stunning places. So what do you reckon?
This isn't a place where you run out of ideas.
That's the trouble. Too many ideas.
There's too many ideas.
Too many ideas.
You can't run out of ideas. There's some places where you just don't know what else to do, but this is not that. I mean, not that you know what to do, but you never run out.
Wow. So what we're actually going to do is we're going to spend 2 nights here. First night, well, we've done a bit of a recce. Did the drone shots, as you have already seen. But tomorrow, what we're planning to do is to actually sleep out in the open on the island and film the moonrise, sunrise, and sunset. That's our plan for tomorrow night.
Somewhere in the story that might help. So, it was a nice frame with just the pan and just the blue.
The moonlight is absolutely fantastic, really amazing. So this time tomorrow, as long as the wind doesn't come up, at the moment there's a breeze, it's cool but it's not cold. As long as the wind doesn't come up and it remains like it is now, tomorrow evening we'll be settled in our little fly camp on one of the high spots on Kubu, ready to photograph the moon setting and the sun rising. So looking forward to that.
In the next and final episode in this series, we bask in a blood moon lunar eclipse on Kubu Island.
Going for an early morning climb over the island. Sun is just coming up in the east. I think it's the east. It's east most mornings. So no reason to think that's any different this morning. Look at this. Look at this tree. Look at this creature. It is something else, isn't it? Look at this thing. Late yesterday afternoon, this aircraft landed here. It's a Sling 4. It's a South African design and built light aircraft. It has a Rotax engine, but the big one. I think they call it a 514. And it's rather pretty, don't you think? Very, very pretty aircraft. And I see, interestingly, it's been fitted with a glider airplane tow hitch. So this thing is rated to tow gliders. And that's a very pretty aircraft. He is here as part of a paramotor race. And there's one taking off right now. The paramotors are flying, I'm not sure, I think it's Cape Town to Victoria Falls, and this is one of their many stop-up points. And the Sling 4 is here as support crew for some of the paramotor pilots. Here comes another one. Looks like they're giving a little bit of a show to some of the people watching the takeoff. Oh, these guys are crazy. So they dropped in last night to literally, that's a good place to land and take off on the pans. Land, yes, take off not necessarily, they need wind to take off easily. Anyway, they're airborne, and they're off to Victoria Falls, which is about, as the paramotor flies, 450 kilometers. In 1993, I flew my own aircraft over this area. I didn't land, but I did have a good look at it from the air. It is really something quite remarkable to see from the air. And the drone shots, they just don't do it justice, even by a small degree. The vastness of these pans, they are collectively larger than the land of Portugal. We are doing a little bit of a recce to find where we might actually spend the night tonight. We've got two choices where we think we might be able to get an amazing moonrise and sunset, and one place is here, easy to get to. Finding a piece of flat ground is not going to be easy, that I know. Drive, park the car opposite those very large red baobabs and then walk up and see what the view is like over the pan where the moon will come up over those baobabs. The alternative is on here on the eastern side of the island, where of course we're going to get the full benefit of the moonrise from the surface of the pan, which could be really, really interesting if we film it with a long focus lens. That's possible. And then a time lapse with one of these incredible trees. Some of you watching might be asking, wondering if there are any wild animals here and are we in danger walking around like this? The answer is no. No wild animals here, apart from the occasional ostrich, jackal, but there is no game, so no predators. So it's absolutely safe for us to walk around. Kubu Island has significance still today with the people of Botswana. There is a wall on the southern part of Kubu Island. It's open-ended. It runs for about 150 meters. Because it's open-ended, suggests that it wasn't used for protection, but perhaps for to enclose an area for sacred ceremonies. It's known that it was constructed in the 13th century, about the same time as the Great Wall of Zimbabwe. Hunter-gatherers lived on Kubu, particularly during the wet season, where there was an enormous amount of animal life in the area, as can be seen now from fossils and remains. And there are also sacred burial sites on Kubu. It's a very sacred and very special place for the Botswana people. I think this is it. We've got two tree clusters to choose from to photograph against the moonlight. We've got that cluster there and then the single tree there. This is one of those places where you take a photograph and then you take another photograph and then you take another photograph. And after you've taken that photograph, you take another photograph, and then you take another photograph. And actually, that photograph is exactly the same as the photograph you've just taken, because it is just, it is just so beautiful, and you just want to take pictures all the time. Even if it's the same thing 100 times, it doesn't matter. You just want some way of recapturing what this place is and taking it with you. I still think I'm going to use wide angle.
I think I am too.
Well, okay, this is the spot, yeah? You agree?
Yeah, I agree.
Okay.
There's a lot of options.
I think let's come up here and be here at 4. Bring our gear up here, and then if it's comfortable, we stay the night. If it gets very windy and cold, then we can have the truck reasonably close. We can just check everything in it, if as a plan B if it becomes nasty.
Yeah.
I think it's worthwhile doing that. We don't know when the moon is going to come up, and we don't actually even know if we're going to see a moon rise, because it might just appear. If it appears before the sun has set, then it'll just appear. We might not see it rise, but if it happens after the sun has gone down, then we might actually see a moon rise. We don't know. Quite a tough walk. It's only about 200 meters, but it's very hot. The sun is very, very powerful. It's 4:30. We're wondering whether the moon will be a moon rise or a moon appearance, because it's a full moon, so it's actually coming up quite early. I think it'll come up just before sunset, which will mean we'll get both. Non-committal at this stage. This is a little unusual for me, in that I've come to a place expressly to shoot images, still images, and of course video images as well, for my show. But to come to a place, Kubu, with the express purpose of taking away images. This is the part of my job that I love the best. I wish Gwyn was with me. I desperately wish Gwyn was with me. You know, and I do a lot of these things on my own without my family, and it's always better with family. I love this place, man. It's nothing and nowhere. It quite matches the Makarikari. It just is something that stirs my soul like no other place on earth, and I don't believe any other place probably ever will. One of the most difficult photographic decisions I've had in many, many years, was to what to shoot for the time lapse, because I have no idea where the moon's going to appear. So I've chosen that shot there. There's the camera now doing the time lapse, and the shadows already stretching over the pan surface. Magic time on Kubu Island, because as the shadows just spread out into infinity. It's fantastic. Well, as you can see, the sun is down and the moon is up, and the time lapse is still working, and we've had a marvelous time shooting pictures. Now, believe it or not, that is moonlight. Pure moonlight. That's all it is. Moonlight. What do you think of that? Isn't that insane?
When you're peaking in your focus, when peaking finds the moon, normally all your peaking stuff is close to you, but then all of a sudden peaking finds the moon and puts it in focus. It's pretty incredible. It's a great moonshot.
So there is the it started, eh? The eclipse has started. That's really cool.
One of the English ladies asked me, do you ever enter any photo competition? It's a weird question. Never in my life have I thought of doing something like that.
Me neither.
Never
Even occurred to me.
It's never even occurred to me. And it was an odd question. And then I thought, no, I mean, I'm not that guy. I'm not a photographer.